Good Sunday morning, everyone. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights, Velco Weather Hazards Forecaster. We're looking at this system gathering strength and organization. Eventually, it's going to develop an area of low pressure, and then it's going to track up the coast, sort of a little bit south of Long Island, head out to sea, and it's going to bring primarily snow to our neck of the woods, and the cutoff line is going to be a little bit south of the Massachusetts-Vermont border, but not by very far. Thus, the wet snow loading areas of wettest snow and the lowest snow to liquid ratios will be down in southern parts of Vermont. Looks like we're looking at the jackpot snows here as well, so that's where the strongest risk is. And there could be some isolated impacts. It doesn't look very widespread. It's going to be probably more into the Berkshires, and there could be some mixed precipitation with that mixed line running just a little bit south of the Vermont-Massachusetts line. Let's take a look at some of the models. For this model, we have the European on the left, we have the North American meso on the right, the NAM model, and you can see that high pressure is still in control, although we still have this low-level overcast sky. But here comes our precipitation. Now this is valid at, that would be 7 o'clock this evening. So roughly the arrival time, this stuff is going to kind of streak in. It could be a little bit earlier, a little bit later. It's going to come in relatively light. But one thing to note, here's our mixing line. You can see it in the NAM here. This is sleet, that's freezing rain, that's rain, and this is all snow. For us in northern and central areas, really anticipating all snow. In fact, even in the southern four counties, however, any risk of a mix could get just very close to Brattleboro as it looks right now. But this is our incoming snowfall, and you know, this is 1 hourly, so the accumulated precipitation each hour is not going to look like very much, but it will highlight some lulls as this moves in across mainly northern Vermont during the overnight period. So this is valid here about 7 o'clock. That's 8, 9, 10. That's midnight. We got 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excuse me, 7 o'clock right there. So even by tomorrow morning, it looks like the morning commute is going to start to improve as conditions begin to transfer a little further to the south. And this 997 low is a little bit south, displaced a little bit further to the south. So northern areas are going to get kind of skipped on that snowfall, whereas southerly areas are going to pick up the most in those jackpot amounts. You can see there's still some moderate snowfall at about 7 o'clock or so with that little tick there. But we're looking at generally snow that's going to linger a little bit longer, hence the jackpot snows. And I think the worst of this is really going to be when we see that freezing line. So roughly through, I'm going to say 4 or 5 in the morning, and then the chances for wet snow loading decrease, even though we're going into the daylight hours with a little bit of warmer temperatures at surface. Eventually, this is going to work on out of the region by around 5 o'clock or so, based on the Euro. The NAM model wants to linger it a little bit longer, and that's a possibility. If it were to, just flurries going into Monday night. But I think really northern areas are going to clear on out, and we're not going to see any precipitation. That's all going to be to the south. Okay, this is the HRRR model now, the high resolution rapid refresh, and the incoming snowfall once again about 23Z. That's about 6 o'clock this evening. You can see it comes in light, kind of streaks on in, but the main area with the more wetter snow is really going to be in that southerly areas, and this comes in, it looks like a little hot, and the southern parts of Vermont continues to move in. We see that snow mix line, mixed precipitation just getting very close to Brattleboro. And again, it's going to be a very close call before everything starts to recede. But nope, that this weather system kind of blows on by, and then we're starting to see the clearing conditions toward tomorrow morning, much like the European was showing. And the high resolution rapid refresh model is kind of confirming that now, with again a little bit of flurry action into the morning hours, but the main areas of snowfall will be in parts of New Hampshire, a little bit kind of up the Connecticut River Valley, if you will, but for the most part, I think it's going to be near the Massachusetts line, and then this thing exits out of the region. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the snowfall hourly by hourly, and so if I can get this to work, there we go. So I'm going to go back here. So the snowfall comes in, and it's a little heavier. You can see it in parts of the Berkshires, a little greater than 1 inch amounts, and then kind of moves on through. This is at its max. This is valid about 1 o'clock in the morning, and then it pulls away, and we start to lose the amount of snow and everything gets out of here roughly by about 5 o'clock on Monday evening. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.